All right, welcome back everyone. Dr. Ben, not a real doctor here. And today we're going to be talking about how you can use the side bent sit to help open up your hips. So before we get started, what is the side bent sit? It is this position I'm sitting in right now. So both your legs are bent, one is out in front of you and one is off to the side. You can do different degrees of knee bend, keep them at 90. That's going to require more flexibility, and the more you tuck your legs in, the less flexibility it's going to require. There are a few things you can do to get into this position if you're not really ready for a full side bent sit. So step one is what I just mentioned. If you can't do like a full 90-90, and the way you'll know if you're not ready is if you feel pressure on your knee or as if you're leaning really far off to one side. You just don't have the mobility yet that you need for that position. So first thing you can do is bend your knees more. That's going to take some of the pressure off of your knees and hips, and maybe your ankle, depending on where you feel the pressure. The next thing you can do is this foot that's off to the side, you can tuck it under. That's going to make a little bit more room for you to get your hips down. The last thing you can do is you can use bolsters. I don't have any real handy right now, but we'll just take my sandals that are sitting off to the side here. And I can take these and I can put them under my butt to get me a little higher up off the ground and make some more room for your hips, knees, and ankles. You can also, if you're finding that you have a lot of pressure in one place, once you do that, you can put them under your knee. For example, if I'm feeling pressure on my left knee here, and get my knee up a little higher and alleviate some of the pressure on my knee. So, make the position work for you. And this is a good position if you're watching TV, hanging out. You can just sit in this position and you can slowly let your hips open. Again, make sure it's comfortable. You don't want to be straining to hold the position. The other thing you can do is when you're sitting in this position is you can just sort of rock over to your hip. Now don't force this. This is very light movement just to remind your hips that, hey, it's cool to be here. It doesn't have to be a bad position. We can handle this. As you open up, you can change your position a little bit and keep rocking and rolling. Remember, warning, if you feel a lot of pressure on your knee, especially on your knee, do not push this. You could pop your knee from this position. So knee, ankle, hip, any of those, if you feel pressure there, you're doing too much. Back off, make the position work for you better. Don't push through pain. You don't need to be damaging joints, stretching joints out. That's not what this is for. All right, so if you are not ready for this position at all, what can you do? So bring your feet up, and this is gonna be a side bent sit transition or a side bent sit reverse. We're just gonna start at the top and work our way down. Lean back, place your hands on the ground, and just rock your knees side to side. You may feel a slight stretch across your hips. All right, this is just to get the hips moving, move through that range of motion. You want to go slowly in this position, that way you can feel the hips working. If you're just doing this, you're not really helping yourself. You're not engaging those muscles. You're not feeling where the tension is and teaching those muscles to release. As you get more comfortable, you can sit up and not use your hands, and you can bring your knees all the way over. Again, if you want to do this, but you don't quite have the mobility, placing something up under your hips to raise your butt will help. And over time, this is a pretty low intensity movement. You can do this 5, 10, 15 minutes and just get the hips moving. We're, again, reminding them that it's okay to do this position. From the side, and you can see here that I'm letting my knees cross over my foot. That's gonna make the range of motion a little smaller and a little easier to do. As you get into better mobility, you can set your knees farther away. You'll notice you probably walk forward a little bit when you do this. Just shuffle back, reset, and keep going. This is one of my favorite movements to start the morning off and get the hips moving. When you first get going, if you're not ready to move in this position, like I said, get whatever you can, blankets, cushions, yoga blocks, whatever. put them under your sit bones. You feel them right down here on the bottom. They're little points where there's not a whole lot of bone. Place your bolsters under there and get your butt up to make room for your hips, knees, and ankles. And then once you get in a comfortable position where you can lay your legs over, use more bolsters under your knees so that it's a comfortable position. Hang out there, watch TV. Every once in a while, switch positions. Get the other side. If you'd like to make this a little bit more challenging and engage your hip muscles more, you can do a side bent sit reverse where you kick your legs out in front of you and then bring them over. And now you're really engaging the hip musculature. Just like that. You can make it shorter and not kick your legs out as far. All of this is going to work the hip complex, engage those muscles, open them up, and leave you less tight in the hips. That's it for today. If you liked the video, smash the thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'm gonna be rolling out some new stuff on my Patreon account next week. I'm gonna start doing a once a week educational system on designing your own workouts so that you can grow your natural movement practice. Check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Until next time, keep your life in motion.